Good morning and welcome to the program. Nigeria's political temperature is rising and not subtly. In one breath, we are confronting the disturbing reality of an attack on a leading political figure's convoy. In another, we are witnessing a sudden change at the very top of the Nigeria's police command. Two major developments unfolding almost simultaneously and both carrying serious implications for our democracy as we approach 2027. When political actors come under fire, literally, it forces us to ask hard questions about tolerance, security, and the health of our democratic space. And when there is a leadership transition in the police hierarchy at such a sensitive period, it naturally shifts attention to institutional stability, readiness, and of course, public trust. Nigerians are watching closely. The international community is watching too. This morning, we go beyond the headlines as our institutions, our institutions know strong enough to withstand political pressures. Is our security architecture prepared for the high-stake politics ahead? And most importantly, what kind of electoral environment are we building for 2027? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the P&B Morning Show. I am Omike Joseph Matthew, and of course, right here, I have Chidi as always. Good morning to you.
Good morning, OG.
Yes.
How was your night, OG?
Yes, splendid. But of course, developments here and there trying to catch up. You hear the IG is out, the IG has resigned, new one has supported. Oh, attacks, oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I said, which I will I even be following?
OG, in our local palace, they say it choke.
Choke.
All right, good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers. Once again, welcome to Politics and Business Television. Today promises to be very, very interesting, OJ.
Of course, today promises to be very, very interesting. And let's quickly, tell you that we will, of course, be looking at some, issues this morning on the program. And one of them is the appointment of a new IG. So we'll be looking at this very topic this morning, the controversy surrounding the appointment of a new acting IG, as it were now, and why did the other one, Ebetekun, resigned and all that. So we'll look into all these issues this morning on the program.
Of course, OJ, we'll look at them because it's very serious. The office of the IG is a very sensitive one, and in our national life, as it were now, it's very important to talk about because the elections are approaching, and it's becoming like a trend. We've seen it happen in the past where few months or a year before the elections, a new IG will emerge. So we would like to know why, what's going on and why DISU, AIG DISU.
All right, so we'll be talking about all that, and of course, Chidi is in the studio, and hopefully we'll be joined by security experts who will look into this development with us this morning. And the FCT polls issue is still there. We hope to have the ADC AMAC candidates on the program this morning to react to, of course, the failures of the opposition parties to clinch at least any of the area councils, apart from that of Babalada, which of course went to the PDP. So what happened to ADC and other opposition parties? We'll try and look at that and perhaps, dive into the economy where, of course, the Nigerian government is said to be ready to get a loan of $500 million again from the World Bank. So we'll look at that, the implication of Nigeria going for another loan, this morning. So we'll try and look into that. So all these are more some of the issues we'll be looking at this morning on the program. So we'll be going for a quick break. When we return, we'll try and review the newspapers. Do stay with us. This is a P&B Morning Show. All right, welcome back. This is the P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Business Television, reaching live from Nigeria's administrative capital, Abuja. I am Omike Joseph Matthew, and Chidi Kenneth is also in the studio. And let's quickly dive into the newspapers this morning and look at what they have in stock for us. And yes, maybe give one or two analysis about them. So, which one do we have? Right now? Let's find out. We have two at a go for you: the Guardian and of course the Nigerian Tribune. So, Chidi, let's begin with the Guardian this morning.
Let's be guided.
Yes, let's be guided. Terrorism. U.S. escalates pressure on Nigeria as African firms up hub in Ghana. U.S. escalates pressure on Nigeria as African firms up hub in Ghana. Wow. So, that's you can see from the front page the pictures of Donald Trump, the president, talking about Tinubu, the chief of army staff, Anu Ribado there. So that's to tell you that because the U.S. Congress is actually sitting on the issue of Nigeria, trying to sort out the so-called allegation of Christian persecution. Okay, so. And that is why,
and more so that we know how important Nigeria is.
Yeah, how Nigeria, yes, to the US.
Yes, to the US.
To the US. Okay, so that's the Guardian there with that banner headline there. And of course, more stories are coming from the Guardian this morning. INEC dismisses claims of result manipulations in FCT polls. INEC dismisses claims of result manipulation in FCT polls. So the FCT poll or area council's election is still causing controvery.
Of course, it's expected. It's expected. But as we say, when we get to that bridge, we will cross it.
We'll try and cross it.
Yeah.
Okay, Pengasin, fourth inflation yardstick, insists on worsening poverty. Pengasin, fourth inflation yardstick, insists on worsening poverty. Pegasin are actually not smiling with the federal government at the moment because so many things.
Will I be correct to call them the opposition party?
I think they are beginning to look like that.
Because each time there is any policy change that has to do with the oil sector,
yes,
the Pegasin will always kick. So I think that's one of the beauty of democracy, where we have every facet of government. It seems to have an opposition.
Yes, and I'll go and. Considering the executive order, recently signed by
all money should go to the federal account.
By the president. The Pegasus is really not happy about that development.
We'll get to know why.
Okay, all right. So let's still continue with the Guardian. Of course, I think we still have other stories that we want you to check out. FG dragged to ECOWAS courts over tax law alterations. Okay. Wow, that's really interesting there. FG dragged to ECOWAS courts over tax law alteration. You check that one out in the Guardian. ADC Accord orders no deregistration fate March 24. ADC Accord orders no deregistration fate March 24. So March 24 will be when the judge, I think the judgment also will be heard, and they'll know whether they'll be deregistered or not. So that's really political.
The issue of deregistering political parties, in as much as I have some reservations about it, but I think I want to also state clearly that I think we have too many political parties in the first place. I think it's about 21 of them.
Okay, 21 of them.
I think I'm not holding brief for federal government, for their actions or whoever is responsible for the registration of political parties. But I think INEC should look into these issues of numerous political parties. Sometimes these political parties are even planted by some candidates, allegedly. When if I am up against you, I can sponsor somebody to contest from your zone so that I can deplete your strength. These are one of the reasons why these numerous political parties are being registered. Register, somebody is contesting for president and maybe feels that, okay, your strength, you have your strength from Benue State, and you will now sponsor a candidate from one party that is not really popular, so unpopular, just to, see how you can downsize your strength. And that is one of the reasons. It's all gimmicks, all political gimmicks.
And this the argument of this the registration of these parties is coming from the perspective of the fact that most of these parties, including the ADC in the last election, did not meet the minimum threshold of 25%, winning, or so 25%
in different zones.
Infiltration in different zones and all that. I think that's where I need to get the facts right. But that is where the whole issue is coming from. Forget the coalition that has formed.
Even that some of them don't even have structure.
Some don't have good structure.
How many of those parties have offices even at the local government level?
Yes.
These are
they're only operating in Abuja.
Yes, these are the criteria.
Having headquarters in some residential buildings.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Prior to now, even political parties were more or less money generating venture. Because then INEC seems to sponsor political parties.
No, INEC don't.
Or governments rather.
Yeah.
No, in the past.
That was in the past.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I said in the past it was used.
Yes.
You register a political party, there's some form of allocation that will be,
coming from INEC then.
Yes, but now we've stopped it now, and it's 21. I think we'll reduce it even though it's 5. OJ.
So that we'll have strong,
healthy competition. One.
Yes.
2, cut costs.
But of course, there are those you trust your friends, the lawyers, who say, it's constitutional right of everybody to
of association.
Right
of association. I put it to you, OJ.
Lawyers.
OJ, I'm not. OJ, can you please leave lawyers in this?
I have to leave, please. I did you guys.
The law they say rest is a loquito. Okay. No, please let this matter rest.
Let this matter rest.
Thank you.
Okay. So we move on. So let's go to the Nigerian Tribune. Egbetekun resigns. Tunji Diso is acting IGP. 8 DIGs may go. That's the banner headline there coming from the Nigerian Tribune. Yes, Egbetekun resigns. Tunji Diso is acting IGP. 8 DIGs may go. And it has a profile of the acting IGP there. He was once FCT minister. So it's a known face to us here in Abuja. The acting IGP is a known face to us here.
Yes.
But there are those who are raising some dust or questions, and we'll look into that this morning.
Those questions and those dust.
Yes. Okay, so FG files fresh charges against Ezekome. FG files fresh charges against Ezekome. So check that story out in the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And federal government reaffirms stand on religious freedom as U.S. panel recommends repeal of Sharia blasphemy laws in Nigeria. Federal government reaffirms stand on religious freedom as U.S. panel recommends repeal of Sharia blasphemy laws in Nigeria. Okay, that's a really interesting story there. And of course, from the economy, you have CBN's interest rate cut signals credit expansion, economic growth. Experts, CBN's interest rates cut signals credit expansion, economic growth, according to experts. So check out, the story there with the rider. NPR reduced by 50 basis points to 26.5%. That was done yesterday, and all that. And of course, 20 banks ready for recapitalization. Meet new minimum capital requirement, according to CBN governor.
That's very important.
That's very, very important because the deadline is in March.
Yes.
Next month.
The bank needs to be, the balance sheet size of a bank needs to be very strong, to be able to, withstand all forms of business, especially, business that involves a lot of FX.
Yeah.
Foreign exchange and the rest of them. So, because when you have if a bank and your balance sheet size is not strong enough, there's certain business you cannot handle, import and export. When somebody, wants to go into all forms of high level risk, and you don't have the money to fund huge, businesses, importation. worth to the tune of $10 billion. So your balance sheet size should be strong enough to withstand such risk.
Yes, of course. Okay, so we want to welcome those watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to like this live broadcast, and of course, subscribe to the channel and drop your comment. We surely acknowledge your comments right here. So do drop a comment in the comment section, and we'll acknowledge that. So let's continue with the review of the papers this morning on the P&B Money Show right here. So we have, of course, which one do we have now? We've looked at the Guardian and the Tribune. So let's check out the next papers. We have the Leadership this morning, and of course the Daily Trust. So let's check out the Leadership first. States debt hits 4.002 trillion naira as Lagos accounts for 26%. State debt hits 4.002 trillion naira as Lagos accounts for 26%. The issue of Nigeria's debt ratio is high. And we talked about whether we'll be looking at, I think we'll be looking at the issue of Nigeria's plan to borrow money, another loan, to secure another loan again from the World Bank.
OJ,
the tune of $500 million.
And OJ, you see, it's I don't have a problem people borrowing money. I still maintain I have a problem when you borrow money. What do you do with the money? We can't keep borrowing money, and every time you borrow money, someone somewhere will take the money, and EFC will start chasing after that person. Did you borrow the money to steal the money, or did you borrow the money to to invest it into our national life?
Anyway, in this case, I think they are talking about investing into the agricultural sector and all that. So
hopefully we should see that to have enough food security.
We'll dive into that, and that's the purpose of the loan. So we'll dive into that as we continue the show this morning. So let's continue. APC governors grumble over scrapping of indirect primaries. APC governors grumble over scrapping of indirect primaries. That's the new electoral law. There is this a section of indirect primaries being scrapped. And that is where some candidates are imposed on the party. And so
now your loyalty will be tested.
Your loyalty will be tested. So some APC governors, according to the leadership, they are grumbling. But we need the very best for our elections. I think it's a good thing to go. Flights diverted to Equatorial Guinea. Abuja as fire raises Lagos International Airport. Okay, so that's on the issue of the recent fire outbreak in Lagos. So let's dive into the Daily Trust this morning. U.S. push to scrap Sharia sparks outrage. U.S. push to scrap Sharia sparked outrage. Some Islamic clerics are reacting to that recommendation from the U.S. Congress this morning. So the Daily Trust is carrying this banner headline, U.S. push to scrap Sharia sparks outrage. El-Rufai asks court to quash DSS charges. El-Rufai asks court to quash DSS charges. Obi Oyegun, other ADC chieftains attacked in Edo. Obi Oyegun, other ADC chieftains attacked in Edo. Okay, so this issue of Edo, of course, we'll be looking at that this morning after the newspaper review vividly. The issue of opposition, politicians being attacked. This does not really show a good signal as we head to the next elections. So yes, of course, it's not really too good.
At all, it's not.
The governor of Edo State has reacted, but citing internal crisis and so on and so forth. And we'll look into that in a jiffy. So we'll continue with, of course, the Daily Trust executive order. Install Lake Chad Kumani projects. Executive order install Lake Chad Kumani projects. When things like this happen, you begin to, you understand, you begin to see a lot of reports coming out. So there's a project going on that may have been stalled. Why the NNPC and the upstream and downstream, agencies, those agencies in charge of the downstream and the upstream sector, that this new executive order will be affecting now. No, when they had the money, when the money was flowing, the project was not moving. But now that the money will no longer be coming, they are now saying, this project will be affected. How does it translate to the common man on the streets in your village?
OJ, there's a question, there's a saying that if you ask me,
Yes.
now who I go ask.
Okay, so
you understand? You see, when we have some figures and how, some financial transactions and issues that borders on finance, in our country, in this our dear wonderful nation, and you begin to ask, OJ, where are we? Where are we? Because sometimes this thing it doesn't translate to the cost of Gary in the market.
Yes.
Where are we?
So let's talk about development. Like what the president said. Like, look, this money should be channeled to let the Nigerian people enjoy the money. It's all these projects may be very important.
When you say the Nigerian people, who are the Nigerian people?
The common man.
The common man is still crying, OJ.
Yes. This monies that NNPC is having 30% of the revenue, coming to them before this executive order that the president said no. Those agencies are in charge of the upstream and the downstream.
Yes, and last week the presidency also said that the local government revenue should be increased about 15.
Yes, it's as a result of this that the revenue for states and local government will now increase.
More so that local government has their local government autonomy now. So they can get their allocation directly.
If they get their allocation directly, like this administration has always been, saying and advocating for, development will get to the people. So that is the argument of the presidency. Let the Nigerian people enjoy this money first. We know that those projects may be important, but it's important for those in the oil sector alone.
OJ, I am in full support of that policy. I am in full support of that policy. Let the dividends of democracy get to the grassroots.
Yes.
Let us, so that vote buying can even stop.
Of course.
Because what brings about vote buying is poverty.
It's poverty.
Bad governance. Bad policies. So some people just use poverty as a weapon. Every 4 years you go and buy a bag of rice to give a poor, I was watching an interview by one of our colleagues interviewing the former governor of Abia State. And they asked him that, is it true that you give 500 naira to every woman that gives birth in your facility, hospital? He said yes. 500 naira. 500 naira. A governor giving 500 naira to every woman that gives birth in any government hospital in Abia State.
What is 500 naira?
That was the question that was asked. And you know what the governor said? The former governor said, why will he be asking a poor woman what she will do with 500 naira? Do you know the importance of 500 naira to a poor woman? So you know how poor women around you up to the level of 500 naira.
What value? What value?
OJ, you should be asking me if it's a recharge card the woman wants to buy.
Not even 5,000.
Maybe probably to buy for recharge card.
Maybe it's 5,000, not 5,000.
OJ, I said I'm not mixing words here. 500 naira.
Wow.
And maybe to buy a recharge card in a phone to call our people and say, oh, thank God,
I've given birth.
I've given birth.
Okay, it's all good. That is
in a state where another current governor now is doing exploits. Same revenue.
Wow. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on with the papers. I think we have the last tranche, right? Okay, we are done with the leadership and, of course, the Daily Trust. So let's look at The Nation and, of course, the Punch newspaper. The Nation, banks raise 4.05 trillion in recapitalization drive. Bank raise 4.05 trillion naira in recapitalization drive. Wow, 4.05 trillion. That's huge. That's really huge.
Sometimes when we hear these figures, OJ,
no. This one, that is the banks now. The banks that are ready. So this is the amount they have raised, and that's to tell you that the banking sector will be very strong.
That is said that your money is secured. My money is also secured. Yes. Back in those days, that's the idea. When we don't have this recapitalization policy, I think it was brought in by Obasanjo's regime.
Regime under Soludo. I mean, it was brought by Soludo. Under Obasanjo's regime.
Yes, and that was, I think the first recapitalization was 25 billion capital base.
Yes.
And before then, you know, there was nothing of such. And we had banks like the Savannah banks that, you know, and that collapsed, and a lot of people lost their money. Even a renowned footballer, which I don't want to mention his name,
also,
you know, yes, I was affected. Was a victim of that,
yes.
You know, that issue then. And that was what brought about this recapitalization. And ever since then, it's been growing from strength to strength. Now we are talking about how much now? 4 trillion. 4 trillion.
Yes.
You know, that's good for our economy, you know. That's good for our economy and for our financial security as well.
Yes.
No, you are no longer, you cannot go to your, you know, you cannot sleep with your 2 eyes closed, yes. OJ. And not when you put your money and in any little, you know, threat or whatever it is, people start panicking. And Nigerians, you can relax now. 4.4 trillion. That's enough security, OJ.
Yes, that's enough security. Also, let's continue with, of course, the paper review. President to team, take our scorecard to grassroots. President to team, take our scorecard to grassroots. That's a charge there coming from President Tinubu to his team that, look, our successes should be preached at the grassroots. Yes. So you,
and do you need to preach your success in the first place?
You have to.
This is a question I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, you have to.
No, you know that we have a governor in this state, in this country, that is not preaching his success. The success itself is preaching itself.
Yeah, but sometimes you need to tell your story.
Well, OJ, Nigerians are very much aware. Nigerians are awake.
No, but you have to tell your stories, or else
Nigerians don't need it.
Look, sometimes you need to tell your stories. If not, some people will pretend as if you are not doing anything.
I quite agree.
You maybe look, even in our family circle, sometimes you need to be the trumpet of your of what you are doing.
OJ,
because if you don't say it,
I understand, but OJ, yes. The simplest message an ordinary Nigerian wants to see,
yes,
is the ability to eat 3 square meals first and foremost.
Yes, after that,
once a Nigerian can eat 3 square meals,
so whoever that made it possible,
basic you should be quality life, OJ,
should be able to tell that, look, it was as a result of this. Are
you going to tell me whatever you have done in poverty? If I've not eaten, I will even listen to. They say the hungry man is an angry man. OJ, I am hungry, and you are trying to tell me what you have done.
Yes.
If what you have done, excuse me, sir, for crying out loud, if somebody is, have you seen the convoy of government officials?
Of course.
Just measured the amount each of these SUVs cost. Some of them go as much as 10.
Hundreds of millions, of course, we know.
I'm not talking about the fueling.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the people that will pilot those cars, the maintenance, the tears and wears of those vehicles. And you see a man on the street that is hungry, seeing all those things. OJ, the only message an ordinary Nigerian wants to hear is that he can go to the market, eat, pay school fees, live at least, basic, good life. Why do people japa? Why is the japa syndrome? It's just because when you go out there, basic amenities. That's what we are begging for. You don't need to come and tell me what you are doing, OJ. OJ,
I also understand your argument, the basis of your argument. But sometimes, like I said,
you need to blow your trumpet.
You need to blow your trumpet.
Just like Elizabeth do.
Yes, you need to. You understand? You need to. So that's what the president is telling his team. Look, you just have to go to the grassroots and tell them what we have done or what we are doing. So that's it. So to me,
well, I just hope they have something to tell.
Okay.
Which is they have something to tell. I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
All right. So let's check out the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper. Tinubu picks diesel for pre-2027 security boost. DIGs to retire. Tinubu picks diesel for pre-2027 security boost. DIGs to retire. IGP Egbetekun summoned to Villa, resigns over family issues. Diesel era begins as Mba, 19 DIGs, AIGs face retirement. 2027 polls in sight as new IG leads Tinubu's new anti-banditry war. So all these are the riders to the story. Tinubu picks diesel for pre-2027 security boost. The IGs to retire. All right, and other stories. Let's look at other stories in the Punch. Of course, 395 million naira for e-transmission out of INEC's 873 billion budget. So 395 million naira for e-transmission out of INEC's 873 billion naira budget. So that is the reality there. Okay, and MPC's modest rate court sends positive signal according to OPS. MPC's a modest rate court sends positive signal. It's all good. So those are some of the stories there. Now, FG slams as medical tourism hits $550 million annually. FG slammed as medical tourism hits $550 million annually. Medical tourism, people no longer trust our hospitals when trying to treat severe illnesses and all that. They better go to the country. Just imagine the amount of money, $550 million.
OJ,
going to India, going to UK.
OJ, it is beyond trusting our hospitals. There's a lot of intrigues in all these things, OJ. I might sound very hard this morning, but that's the truth. That's the bitter truth. This medical tourism we're talking about, we have a lot of very good hospitals here. And some of these big men that goes outside to treat, they are also being treated by Nigerians there. Nigerian doctors. There was a story that was told that one of the government officials, I don't know, is it government official or, but he's a big man anyway, what we call big man here, called a doctor and was asking, trying to book an appointment with a doctor. And they told him that the doctor will appear in the next 48 hours. Only for him to appear in the hospital in the next 48 hours. It was the same doctor he met in Nigeria that was flown to UK. And he said, are you the one I'm waiting for? I met in Nigeria. He said, yes. He's the same consultant. OJ, medical tourism is one of the biggest problems we have in this country. We should fix our hospitals. Look at one mighty hospital being built along Apo axis now. I think I can't remember the name clearly now. That hospital has what it takes to treat anybody. More so, the trust you are talking about is, some medical privacy report. Here, some of allegedly, some of our medical reports are not. The report is not safe. It's not protected. Some people don't want their medical issues to be made public.
Yeah, but the ethics deserve that
you keep it secret.
Yeah, medical records are supposed to be private.
OJ, somehow it gets into public domain. Except when it involves a popular or well-meaning Nigerian, it goes to the public domain. And sometimes some of these well-placed Nigerians, why they go abroad is because of the their record is going to be kept secret.
Yes, protected.
It's protected, OJ. It's not because of facilities per se. Protection. So, and that calls for serious concern, because I want to also tell the NMA, the Nigerian Medical Association, to also do more in protecting, the secret medical reports of some people. That is what most of them are scared of.
Okay.
Also, some people also use it as a way of money laundering as well.
Okay, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly, OJ.
We just
this allegedly, OJ. One day we are going to look. We have to do something about allegedly.
Okay. It's all right. We just have to go now. That's about it on this segment, the newspaper review. Please drop your comments on our Facebook comment section for us to acknowledge. We really appreciate those of you who are, of course, watching us live on YouTube. On YouTube, as you say. So please like this video so that it can be recommended to more people. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be going for a quick break. And when we return, of course, we'll bring you more right here. All right, welcome back to the P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Now, former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has broken his silence after surviving an assassination attempt in Edo State on Tuesday. Now, government reportedly attacked the convoy of the former Anambra State governor during a visit to the residence of former APC national chairman John Odegu Oyegun, opening a fire and riddling the gates and several vehicles in his motorcade with bullets. So Obi later addressed the incident in a video circulating online, confirming the attack and expressing gratitude that no lives were lost. Meanwhile, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar condemned the assault, describing it as a dangerous threat to democratic norms. In a statement issued Tuesday night, he said the attack on Obi and other leaders of the African Democratic Congress was utterly condemnable and unacceptable in any democracy, calling for a thorough investigation and accountability. So you can see the pictures there of the destructions of the Secretariat of the ADC in Edo State. And of course, let's quickly hear a citizen reporter reporting the incident while Peter Obi addressed the situation in Oyegun's house in Edo State. So let's hear what Peter Obi had to say, and of course, a report from a citizen journalist, as it were.
Hoodlums came shooting. If you look at his gate and everything,
let's see the bullet holes.
you can see the bullet marks at his gate. You see the several cars, the damage and everything. That is where our democracy has reached.
The hoodlums came for you to know what 2027 will look like. Immediately after we left the ADC headquarters in Benin, we came into the house of Chief Oregun, the former governor, and these hoodlums came, started shooting. These are bullets, started shooting. These are bullets, started shooting, destroying vehicles. You see, they know Tinubu is going to lose in 2027, and they don't want peace.
As they come, when they come out, they can face me for this side. Wait, yes. Everybody back at me. The other guy carry key. I know that he wants to shoot and he can for the matter to come for us.
This is the ADC State Secretariat. See the injured. Look at this one. I was injured. This is the ADC State Secretariat in Edo State, Okwelaka. We just received our dignitaries today. We had a Tikapi Olumide Akpata was decanted to the ADC, and Peter Obi was here live and direct to witness it. Just few minutes after the event took place, the APC sent their thugs. They came in numbers with a Sienna unbranded vehicle with pop action. They were shooting. They destroyed vehicles. They destroyed this woman's vehicle. Look how they scattered everywhere. This is a woman who sends opposite secretariat. Look at the things that were destroyed. Is this the kind of state Modo Pueblo wants to present over? Look at this water destruction. They said the woman was shot on the neck. The woman has been rushed to the hospital. They shot the woman on the neck. Many people were beaten and were injured. Look at our DJ, the DJ who covered the event. You can see all his vehicles have been destroyed. They stole the laptop of the DJ. They scattered his phone, and his laptop was stolen. And look at how they were scattered everywhere. See, destroyed bottles. They came with guns. They said all of them were having pop action on their house, and they were shooting sporadically in this venue. Look at this guy's bicycle. They stole his bicycle. Look at his leg. They beat people. Look at what happened. See, they destroyed properties here. See, this violence cannot allow to continue. The power arm of the DJ we are taking. See, this is Edo State, and the power of opposition cannot be subdued. Everybody who wants to join the APATC must be allowed to join. So we have the right to gather, we have the right to participate. Any form of intimidation and oppression that they are using in this state to oppress us will not be allowed to accepted. This is totally unacceptable. Nigeria cannot survive. We cannot be a one-party state.
All right. Of course, that's a report there from a citizen journalist, and as you can see, video of the alleged scene of the attack on the ADC faithfuls there in Edo State yesterday. And before that video, you saw Peter Obi commenting on the attempted assassination to his life and other stalwarts of the ADC in Edo State. And so, Chidi, your reaction to these developments this morning?
OJ is a sad one because I thought that democracy is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And I thought, as enshrined in the Constitution, that you have the freedom of association. You can join any group you wish to join. How did we get here, OJ? Shooting guns, broad daylight. What is this country turning into? And I want to ask, where are the security agencies?
Yes, that's one question I want to ask.
Because multiple guns shooting sporadically.
Sporadically.
Yes, but to attract the attention of the police.
And where were they?
If you look at the environment where that thing happened, yes. It's not a suburb per se.
Yes.
But there's a very good, access road there.
Yes.
Meaning there should be a division or something that has to do with the police, what we call police station close by.
For P2B to be in that kind of place, and Oyegun, the former APC chairman, so they must have their own security details. So where were they held? Where were they? This is something.
These are issues that call for serious answers. Questions that call for serious answers. I beg your pardon. Where did we get here, OJ? Broad daylight. Look at that woman injured. And according to the reporter there, the woman was shot at the neck for doing nothing.
That we cannot independently verify.
No, I say according to him.
Yes, yeah.
It's not verified for now. OJ, look at properties destroyed. Based on what we are seeing on the videos there, what is it for? What are we looking for? Is it a do or die affair? Although, according to the reporter, he said talks from a particular political party, which also has not been verified. Before crying out loud, where are we going to, Jay? In fact, I'm short of words. Looking at this video, I was like, what's going on? Can't somebody just, express himself and choose where he wants to belong?
The issue of political violence in our politics is not something we should encourage at all. And attempts on the lives of people like P2B, Oyegun, and it's uncalled for. But the governor reacted. Pebolo, the governor of Edo State, reacted and said that yes, the incident happened, but it could be as a result of internal crisis within the ADC. You understand? But from that reporter, trying to put the blame on the state government, but the state government said it could be as a result of internal crisis between you guys. Don't put the blame on us. So,
well, OJ, that is that the governor also reserves his own right to respond.
Yes.
Being the chief security officer of the state. However, this is a recurrent event in our polity now. We keep seeing these things, and each time it happens, one political figure will come out and respond and say this. And at the end of the day, nobody's arrested, nobody's tried. People will just do all kinds of things and then go scot-free. OJ, looking at this kind of thing, why would we not have voter apathy? Why are we not going to have voter apathy? If I see this kind of thing, I want to express my civic responsibility, and in the process, I will be killed. For what? Somebody will come and start shooting gun. For what? Who gave them those guns?
That's a big question there. Okay, now let's look at Peter Obi himself, because this is an attempt on his life, because they knew he was there. So is Peter Obi vulnerable to this kind of attacks? Because when you see him, he appears to be meddling with crowd easily and all that. Peter Obi's life matters. Now that we are heading to the 2027, what do you think someone like him should do? And Atiku Abubakar cannot just go out like that. We know, you understand. And Atiku, the former vice president.
Yes.
The DSS, if he has the security details are always with him. But Peter Obi appears to be like a commoner and all that. With this now, what should he do going forward?
Well, OJ, you cannot. There are two different kinds of people. The two individuals you mentioned. are two different personalities. And they have their own. In fact, Atiku Abubakar was a former vice president. And even though he still reserves some, he still has the right to certain security details automatically.
But Peter Obi, a former governor.
Oh, I don't think former governors have such entitlement.
They have.
Not to that extent of the vice president.
But at least they have. But Peter Obi appears not to.
Yes, I'm also going there. Peter Obi also, being who he is, looking at him, is a man who believes in being in himself and being simple. And what we call a simple gentleman. I'm not saying Atiku is not, but Atiku is one who also enjoys, the crowd moving with him. So these are different people with different personalities, the way they like things to be done. But however, I'm also going to advise that Peter Obi should also tighten up his security. He should move with armored vehicles and and tighten up his security, more DSS, more if possible soldiers, because Obi is very important in our national life, in our politics of today. He is also a strong contender. It would be a strong contender in 2027. It will not be very palatable to hear that such a figure is being shot or something happened to him. So I will appeal to him, in as much as I respect his approach towards doing the way he does his things, his humility, his simplicity. But then this is political season. And as you can see, the governor came out to say it's a result of internal, blamed it on internal, crisis. So that means who are we going to hold responsible? Those boys right now, they're what we call the unknown gunmen. We don't know their faces. We don't know their address. No arrest has been made. No statement from the police yet official on that matter, to say, okay, the boys will be apprehended. And
the police has also come out to say, yes, something of such happened.
Okay, they came out to say, okay, that's a good one.
Yes.
But I want to also charge them to go and see that they can arrest those boys. Not going to allegedly arrange some funny people and say, no, they've been arrested and blah, blah, and the rest of them, we don't hear anything. And that is one of the things that even annoys me in our politics. You hear a particular issue, this issue you're talking about, OJ, in the next 2 weeks is faded off.
Because event unfolds in Nigeria like what
it will fade off, OJ.
Today something might just come up
now, and everybody will forget about as we are talking about that. Nobody's talking about the electronic transmission
anymore. We are talking about attempt assassination of Peter Obi now and other things.
So the drama
continues.
Episode 1, season 2.
Yes.
And it's well, in as much as it's interesting, but sometimes it can be tiring, OJ. It can be tiring. What are you going to shoot an innocent man for? Just do your thing and let me do my thing. I'm not apportioning any blame to anybody, but I'm only saying that the governor should also do more. It's not to come out swiftly to respond. Let him also make sure that it doesn't repeat itself. Edo State is a very sensitive, I think it's called the heartbeat of the nation. The big heart the big heart or something. Edo State is very, very important in the scheme of things when it comes to politics. I hope you know that the obedient movement started from there.
Yeah.
They were the one that championed it and projected it to where it is today, sorry. So to be always going to Edo State to visit Edo State, it shows a lot of concern, and the governor should please make sure that individuals of high profile political standards should be protected, please.
Okay. Now let's look at the reason why Peter Obi even went to Edo State in the first place. It is the campaign of the former NBA president talking about Akpata, Olumide Akpata, who decamped from Labour Party to the ADC yesterday. So is it going to, add up to the strength of the ADC with someone like Akpata to the party?
Oh, well, politically, yes, because it was one time a former gubernatorial aspirant, and he put, some level of weight in the state. So he has his own structure, as we call it, political structure, and so as it's decamping from Labour to ADC, it is expected that his own political structure will also follow him. Those who believe in him, his philosophies, his beliefs, and the rest of them, they'll follow him. His supporters, they'll follow him. That is one of the things these political bigwigs, they have. When they migrate from one political party to the other, they move along with their supporters. And I just hope that those supporters have PVC. Because that's the most important.
That's the most important thing.
Okay. To support without PVC.
Without PVC is not the in thing. Okay, now let's use the final moments of this segment to quickly talk on the FCT polls once more. Now, the INEC has come out to, of course, give their own lights or explanation on one popular issue of result manipulation that is, going viral on social media. That's the issue of whether or not a particular polling unit got 1,219, but what was recorded at the end of the day was 121. But
accredited voters?
No, not the vote scored by ADC in a particular unit. The result is showing that it is 1,000 over 1,000. That's 1,200 plus. But what at the end of the day, it's just 1,121 that was actually recorded. So now the INEC has come out to explain the situation, to clear themselves, and the national papers are of course reporting it this morning. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has addressed a report alleging that Kuruko Health Center polling unit in Yengoji Ward in Kwale Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory recorded 1,219 votes for a political party, despite having only 345 registered voters and 213 accredited voters during the Saturday area council election. Now, the commission stated that the claim of manipulation of falsification is untrue and misleading. Providing clarification on the alleged figure, INEC explained that the discrepancy in the reported results were due to an error by the presiding officer while entering parties' score. So a statement signed by Aminu K. Idris, Resident Electoral Commissioner FCT, confirmed that the matter was investigated. The INEC said the presiding officer affirmed that after sorting and counting the ballots, 122 votes were initially recorded for APC. Now, on tallying everything, she noticed an overshoot by one. So they had to recount the ballots in the open, and that was when she realized that APC should have 121 votes and not 122 votes, the statement said. So she cancelled the two, and at the end replaced it with one, okay, to make it 121. So she also corrected the figures in words. I think we have the picture. If our producer can bring up that picture of that result. Okay, I think this is not the actual picture anyway, but that is the situation. So, with this clarification, what is your advice to INEC? With this kind of situation where you have alteration of result, people now lash on that as a basis for manipulation of results. What would now be your advice to INEC? Very quickly, Chidi.
Okay, OJ, I was just scrolling down my phone to also, I have another result like that. Where let me read it out for you. Registered voters, 345. Total number of accredited voters, 213. Total number of ballots issued, 213. Total number of unissued ballots, 132. Spoiled ballots, nil. Rejected ballots, 2. Total votes cast, 213. Total valid votes, 211. Meanwhile, a particular political party scored 1,212 votes in the same unit. OJ, this is live result here. Signed, OJ. Mutilated, cancelled everywhere. I don't know why.
So the total registered voters there is not even up to 1,000.
I'm talking of the one I have, not the one you have here. So what? If let's assume that one is a mistake, 2, 3, 4 different like that. What happened to the IRF? We just heard this morning that 300 and something million will be voted for e-transmission. What if we have e-transmission? What is all this cancellation doing?
Cancellation happening.
For crying out loud, we are not children now, OJ. We are not kids. So somebody's playing. Somebody's thinking we are stupid or we don't know what we are doing. Over 100 million intelligent Nigerians. You come and tell me things that you just tell me things that I don't know how to classify it.
Okay, now before the election, do INEC not train their officers or say, look, you don't have to alter, like for example, in even in public examination, that's the way you alter your, that you do some cancellations and all. Okay, I think we have one on the screen now. This one does not really show that we have a genuine election in this unit, for instance.
The one you have on the screen is even different from the one I have here. Another one.
Numbers. This should be done orderly. Why should the presiding officers be cancelling?
No, a particular polling unit made one mistake. We can pardon. What of another one?
What of another?
The same quality. So what are we saying?
The result sheets should be clean. Before you enter, you must be very sure. They even have a spare result sheet, so that
you can just stamp and then transfer neatly. Before the presence of both political
or the party agents, or people around. Yes, do something neatly.
INEC should be rejecting results like this. Anything that is mutilated or cancelled,
but for whatever reason,
reject it. When you go to the police station to write statement,
yes,
you don't cancel.
Your statement need to be neat.
They will tell you to bracket it.
Yes.
When it comes to election, you start cancelling.
Even in bank, if you make mistake,
you countersign.
You have to countersign.
But
in our election, all these rules does not apply.
And somebody will bring that result and tender that to you, and you declare somebody winner.
And then they will be.
And then you will now come out to start explaining. I don't understand what you are explaining, OJ. Somebody, you can't be telling me that kind of thing now. This is an insult on my you are insulting my mind. Even a 15-year-old teenager can't look. Come on now, you go to the bank. If you don't even write, you write figures and you don't even spell it very well. As soon as you alter, you countersign.
Yes.
Okay, let's even go there. How come when it comes to accredited voters, everything is intact? But when it comes to the final result,
yes, it's not.
It's usually at the final result. Most of the mutilation is done at the final result, and it is always done. Secondly, why is it always at the number one contending party? You don't see result mutilated in
for any
APP, any other party that is not a threat. Why the strong parties, either APC, PDP, or ADC? Why? These cancellations always happen within these three major parties. You don't see cancellation in ZLP. Why? OJ. We are intelligent enough we can interpret these things. So what I want to appeal to our electoral empire, we cannot vote 1.3 trillion naira. Vote over how many million for e-transmission?
Over 300 trillion.
Why is the e-transmission here?
A billion, sorry. Okay.
What I think is common sense. What I expect INEC should be doing is, okay, all polling agents, bring your results. We stand at the collation center. As they are offloading at the arrive, you are comparing. If it is genuine, if it's true. After all, you snap and send. Where is it? When the PO snaps, the agent snaps, of course, I witnessed the election. Where is that one that originally snapped when it was counted and signed? If you see that one, no mutilation. OJ, I bet you go, as soon as the election is conducted and counted and all the figures are imputed, if you see the first document ab initio, most of them are very clean. After some time, you start seeing mutilations everywhere. Allegedly.
Okay. I will just have to leave it there and urging INEC to stop all these explanations. You can stop all these explanations, all these press statements, trying to clear yourself of.
That is why we don't want e-transmission and manual.
Manual.
This is the product of manual.
So we can do better going forward. So we have to go for a quick break. When we return, of course, we dive into other issues this morning, right here on the P&B Morning Show. All right, welcome back to the P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Business Television, reaching you live from Abuja. Now, Nigeria woke up to a major shakeup in its security leadership as Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetekun resigned from office, paving the way for the appointment of Tunji Diso as acting police boss. The change comes at a critical time, with the country gradually building momentum towards the 2027 general elections. President Bola Tinubu has already accepted the resignation and initiated the formal process that could see Diso confirmed as the substantive Inspector General. Egbetekun's tenure had faced public scrutiny, particularly following the controversy surrounding his retirement age and the amendments of the Police Act that extended his stay. Now, with a new man at the helm, attention shift to what this transition means for policing, internal stability within the force, and national security preparedness. A report also suggests the appointment could trigger a wave of retirements among senior officers, potentially reshaping the police hierarchy. So this morning, we're examining what this leadership change signals for the Nigerian police force and for the country at large. Is this simply routine succession or the beginning of a broader institutional reset ahead of the 2027 elections? Hopefully, we'll be having a security analyst joining us the course of the program this morning. But Chidi is still here. And Chidi, how did you receive the news of Egbetekun resigning and Diso being appointed as the acting IG? And in the coming days, I know that his appointment, he will become the substantive IG as it were. So how did you receive it?
First and foremost, OJ, let me congratulate Tunde Diso, our brand new Inspector General Police.
Acting.
In acting capacity. I want to say congratulations to him. I think I've seen him before when he was, I think it was his CP also, and was it CP? Yeah, at some point it was a CP of CT, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yes, I was privileged to meet with him. He's a fine gentleman. He's a gallant police officer, very sociable, and understand the community policing. He has also, had experiences with the UN. He has also done a lot of policing both in and outside Nigeria. Excuse me. But I have some concern. I received some mixed feelings as well too.
Okay.
Now, looking at acting IGP Tunde Diso, he was born on the 13th of April, 1966. And what that means is that in 47 to 48 days time, he will be 60 years. And if you look at the retirement age, required for, slated for a police officer, that is either you have completed your 35 years or in service, or when you get to the age of 60, you are due for retirement. So in 48 days.
So as it is now, he's 59 years old.
He's 59 years old and some months. So he has 48 days. I said 13th of April, which happens to also be the birthday of my beloved wife too. If I may add that. So when I saw it, I said, my dear, look at the new IG is your birthday mate. And I'm sure he's listening to me. Maybe you have to know that my wife is his birthday mate. So, and I received it with mixed feelings in the sense that what happens when he's 60 in 48 days time? I also received it with a lot of mixed feelings because we have, IGP, DIG, what they call him?
Is it Frank Uba?
Frank Uba, who is 52 years old.
More younger, and we understand he has 8 more years.
8 more years to go.
Yes.
He's 52 years old, as we heard. Some said he's 52 years old. I don't have his birth certificate, but he's 52 years old.
That's the record.
That's the record. Yes. And he has 8 more years in service, OJ. And now these DIGs, 8 of them will be, of course, you cannot, just like the chain of command, you can't take compliments from your juniors. The AIG is in a lower rank than the DIG. The DIG is, higher than the AIG. And now AIG has been elevated to the rank of the IGP in acting capacity. What that means, the 8 AIGs will be asked to go.
About 9 of them, I think.
I think it's 8.
Okay.
8 of them. They have to go. Now, I'm beginning to wonder the investment resources invested in those DIGs, I beg your pardon. A lot of money has gone down to get them to that level. And they still have 8 years to go. I'm beginning to wonder, why is it, if you look at the trend of appointing IGPs in Nigeria, there's this quote and unquote, allegedly perceived tribal coloration. And I really wonder why, even in our armed forces, especially the office of the Chief of Defense Staff and the office of the Chief of Army Staff, especially. If you look at the trend, sometimes most of our political leaders tend to appoint people from their region. It has been like that.
The only thing is as a result of maybe trust. So say, okay,
well, we've had issues. You are not far from the truth.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with.
Yes, you're not far from the truth, because in the time past we've had situations where, especially the Chief of Army Staff, being appointed from a particular region, and at the end of the day, he allegedly aided the coup that led to the removal of his superior. In the time past, we've seen it, and probably that was one of the reasons why this whole distrust came about. Because I don't believe that there are other people from other regions of the country that are even qualified that can also be appointed. But it seems to be a pattern now. It happened even the time of Obasanjo. It happened. Today, if you have an Igbo man as a president, he's likely to pick his IG from the southeast.
Yeah.
And pick his Chief of Army Staff from the southeast. And Jonathan, of course, when he was there, he picked Hejiruka from Hejiruka to Mimima, which is also from the south. And like that, the IG like that from the south. So this is becoming a trend. Now Obetekun left, who is also from the southwest, and Tunedis is also from the southwest. So I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem per se with it, because if you are competent, you are competent. And I think the president knows why he decided to pick Tunedisu, regardless of his zone. Probably he has seen some qualities that we are not seeing, and that is why he decided to choose him and appoint him. But I think for the sake of some perception by some Nigerians, we should begin to look at these appointment patterns.
Okay, I understand. I understand the direction you are coming from, but let's look at it here, because the issue of DIG Frank Kuba is on the front burner. Everybody's reporting it. If you go to social media, that is even the discussion, and trying to tilt the discussion out to tribal or regional.
That is the perception I'm talking about, OJ.
No dimension, as it were now. Okay, but there are those who argue that even the promotion of Frank Kuba is even questionable.
Is that accelerated promotion?
He was so accelerated. He was the former spokesperson, a spokesman of the force.
Yes,
perhaps because of his good job as the spokesperson of the police force, may have earned him that. But there are those who are actually angry before now that his promotion is too accelerated and all that, and that his mates, those whom he graduated with, his classmates whom he graduated with are still DCPs.
Deputy Commissioners of Police.
Yes. As in, he's far their senior.
That's about after the DCP, you have the CP. After the CP, you have the AIG.
You know you're the rankings.
That's about two or three ranks ahead.
Above of them, yeah. His mates, as in people he graduated with same day.
And they will be paying compliments to him.
Of course. That's it, DCPs. So coming from that perspective, some are saying, why are we trying to personalize or make it look as if Frank Kuba is like him and maybe others in that category are like victims of what has happened yesterday. So,
well, you cannot eat your cake and have it, OJ. You can't eat your cake, and that's what's playing out now. And Frank Kuba should accept it in good faith. The president reserves the right to appoint who he wants to appoint. OJ, when it comes to that level, it is not all about whether you are qualified or you have 8 years or not. It is in the discretion and the ability of the president to appoint whoever he wants to appoint. Because for the president to sit down comfortably on his seat, he needs to also, like you said, appoint those he can trust. His trust has nothing to do with your academic qualification or whatever it is. It has to do with personal perception. And that is what the president has just done. So you can't take that away. Like I said, it has been a pattern. We know that any president, I have not seen any president, not just that, even in other private sector, it's like that. when the new direct DG comes in, he changes the driver. He comes with his driver.
Yeah.
He comes with his security detail, his own.
Yes.
So it's not just everywhere. It's everywhere because of in fact, some DGs come when they appoint them as DGs. They change the chair. The chair that was barely 2 months old.
Yes.
And that's how government resources go down.
Yes.
The vehicles, some governors don't use the vehicles used by former governors.
Yes.
Vehicles are in good shape. They renovate office and sign billions of naira to renovate office and nothing happened to it. Change even ACs. If you ask, they say, oh, maybe 1 or 2 things was planted inside the AC, they maybe blah, 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 and blah. You know, issues like that. And that is how our resources keep moving.
Yes. And I remember we discussed the issue of procurement.
And that is why the e-procurement is now timely.
Yes.
When you do e-procurement, because OJ, you need, and that you see, there are people who pray that, oh, this government come in and government go. And when the new government is coming in, there are people who go to buy those things, and they come to sell to ordinary Nigerians.
Okay, so back to the issue of our discussion now. Yes, like you also acknowledge that it is at the discretion of the president to appoint whom he thinks.
When it comes to security architecture.
Okay, even among the AIGs, there are those who are his seniors, because he was just promoted last year, February, I think. Yes, so there are those that are his seniors. So that brings the question of resignation. Those that might go now. Daily Trust is suggesting about 29 of them will have to go.
AIGs.
Both AIGs and the yes. All those
well, OJ, I don't know about. I think I need to check the Police Act to understand how they operate when it comes to it, because I know in the military it's a serious business.
Yeah.
Once
a junior is appointed,
whether seniority by number,
yes,
it is a regimental rule.
Yes,
casted on stone. You can't pay compliment. You can't take compliment. You can't pay to your junior. I don't know about the police. Maybe some, as you said, he was promoted last year, February.
Yes.
And I don't know if the other AIGs might want to work with him. I don't know if the police can absorb that, if they don't have any problem with such, standards.
Yes.
But in the military, it is almost impossible. It is almost impossible, OJ.
You have to go.
No
matter the position you are occupying.
Not even because you are asked to go.
Okay, now let's
for your pride as an officer.
Okay, okay, but
the soldiers, generals don't joke with that.
Yes, I understand. Why the army does not joke with that, or the military does not joke with this thing you just talked about? In the police, we've had instances where a senior, at the end of the day, for whatever reason, agrees to work with the junior that was elevated to IG.
It was a female DIG.
And you understand? And pay at the end of the day, for whatever reason, and also at the discretion of the IG, that will say, okay, no, I know this is my senior. I don't want you you don't have to retire. I need you to head this unit and all that. Understand? We'll see instances in the police where this.
I think it was a female DIG. After I'm trying to remember her name.
But I'm just trying to tell you now that we've had instances like you're trying to remember. Now let's look at those that are his seniors now. His seniors that so many people are saying, okay, all these guys may have to go. Though it depends on if they really want to stay. Now, DIGs who are senior to the acting IG head key departments such as finance and administration.
Logistics and the rest of them.
Yes, so that is DIG Yahya Abubakar. He heads the finance and administration. Very important unit, right? Okay. Bizigu Kouagzi, he heads logistics and supply. He's ahead of the current acting IG. Adebola Hamzat, Force Criminal Investigation Department.
Very sensitive department.
Very, very sensitive department. Sadiq Abubakar, heads training and development. Okay. Then the current Frank Uba that a lot of people are talking about now, research and planning. Okay. But it's the Frank Uba everybody is talking about. Then Basir Adegu, Information and Communication Technology, the ICT. And then Force Intelligence Bureau, Mohammed Gumel. So these key guys that are his seniors, and look at the positions that they are they are holding. So do you think that this will now say, come on, guy, I trust you. You are heading this department. I know you are my senior, and I know you might want to say you want to go, but I need you. You don't have to go. Would any of these individuals agree to start saluting the acting IG?
Well, OJ is looking at the positions at their discretion.
Yes,
to accept or not to accept. But when it comes to the military, OJ, it is not at your discretion.
You have to go
for your pride. OJ, it's interesting. In fact, it's as serious in the military that there are some particular corps that you cannot produce the chief of army staff. You must be a suicidal officer that has been through all kinds of very rugged officer. I think the infantry and the artillery. Within these two, mostly the infantry. Those who charge through the war front. The grand soldiers. They don't go to S&T, supply and transport, and it's hard. We have the S&T corps, we have the different corps. I have the MP and others. There are particular corps that you must pick to coax from. I don't know if that is applicable to the Nigerian police. So, talking about these departments that you're talking about, you just mentioned now, like the one, if I am to pick the IG, I'll pick at the one that was in charge of force criminal, what do you call it again?
The first criminal department.
Yes, because that is where the real policing is. That is where the real policing is. As far as I am concerned, I don't know if I'm correct. Because we need someone that has experience. I don't know which of the department Tunde has occupied in the past. I know it was one time the CP of FCT.
Yeah, it was the CP of FCT, has head the many departments. Even it was CP Lagos and many other.
Okay, it was CP Lagos.
Yes, and I had so many operational things. I think
I was part of the police Interpol too.
Yes,
I think he has done one or two.
I think we'll try and look at his profile, but he has actually headed a lot of good positions.
Being a CP of
that may have warranted this.
Being a CP of Lagos and Abuja, I think he has done well for himself too.
Yes, he was once CP in Rivers State.
A CP in Rivers State, and CP in Lagos, CP in Abuja. I think he has virtually touched the major cosmopolitan and metropolitan areas in Nigeria.
And once commanded the Rapid Response Squad in Lagos.
So the Rapid Response Squad, okay.
Now you understand.
So yes, so he will respond rapidly.
Now you understand why the president.
I think his profile is commendable. Yes. It's commendable. So in as much as he has 48 days to go, but that is not. He was not the only one. I think even Abetiku too was due.
It was actually due in September, and that was even the crisis between him and Showore.
Yes,
Showore, even up until yesterday, Showore was at the force headquarters to say he wants to say goodbye to him. He has been fighting Betekun for so long that he's an illegal IG and so on.
And this also brings up to rank suppression too. We had the chief of army staff. It was Buratai that stayed for like 6 years.
Yes.
And some people that are eyeing those positions that are due to become the next coas, never saw that opportunity. These things have a way of affecting loyalty in the system.
Okay, so are you now that you have brought up this now? So can you now say that this development could now give the opportunity to others who are lower ranks are to be elevated or positions to be filled? Because if, for instance, those names I mentioned, if they have to go, like you say, if you're in the military, those guys have to go. Those names I mentioned have to go. Then, of course, there must be replacements, right?
Of course.
Okay, so has this now given the opportunity to those who are in the lower, those who are lower now to be elevated to?
Now we're looking at, you say he was one of the most junior AIGs. I don't know if there are other AIGs under him.
But at least they are other seniors.
And if they decide to go, of course, before the rank of the AIG, you have the CP.
Yes.
So what that means that most CPs will be elevated to the rank of AIG.
AIGs.
Because there are some offices that you cannot head until you get to the rank of AIG and DIG. The DIG controls geopolitical zones, while the AIG controls sub-geopolitical zones.
Yes.
Then this, of course, the CP is a command that states. Then we have the ACs, area commands. And then, of course, we have the CSPs, who head divisions. And then other ranks that can help police posts and the rest of them. So this is how the police is runs, is being operated, or is being, designed to run. Now, having said that, if this happens and they all decide to go, maybe for some reasons, I don't know, because like I said, in the military you go, in the police, I don't know. If they decide to go, what that means that, of course, OJ, the young CPs or the most senior CPs will be elevated to the rank of AIGs, even to DIGs. Yes, and some of the younger, maybe since DC was made AIG last year, probably has one or two younger AIGs too. Those ones automatically becomes DIGs. You understand? And then, of course, we elevate some CP, will now go straight to DIGs.
So, as we are saying, you are expecting that everybody that will be in the force now must be his juniors now, right? Is that what we're expecting?
If he was made the AIG last year, February.
Yes. Then all the seniors have to go?
They may not have to go, because I don't know like I said, I don't know if the police force, practices such.
No, we've had instances where some actually resigned.
We have also had some situation where some will stay.
Yes, some stay.
So let's look at those that will stay.
Yeah, okay. those that will stay are those people who may not be ready to say, I don't want to go home yet. I don't mind.
I don't want to stay unemployed.
Unemployed yet. I don't mind. So those are perhaps the categories of people.
They want to enjoy the euphoria.
Yes, and say I don't mind saluting my junior. Because of the positions perhaps they are occupying, or they will be appointed to.
And some of them are aspiring to become at least becoming the DIGs also.
Yes.
A major achievement. I hope you know, as a DIG, when you retire, there are some incentives that comes with it.
Yeah, of course, because
there are some benefits.
Yes.
Lifetime benefits.
Because we are qualified to be the IG, just like what we are seeing.
Well, it's all about being qualified. But it's all about the discretion of the president.
Yes.
When you get to that level, it is the discretion of the president.
Yes.
And some AIGs that are senior to Tunji Disu will probably want to stay and become DIGs.
Okay. Now I understand that the AIGs that are senior to Tunde Disu now would want to stay. After we are all of the same rank, I want to be a DIG.
At least let me resign or retire as a DIG. Because as a DIG, there are benefits you are entitled to for life.
Yes.
Even AIGs.
Okay.
Change of vehicles, medical allowances every year. You have security details. I think I have 2 in my estate. And I see if you go to their compounds, retired. They have constant police guards, police cook, police driver, police everything. Even their children is being guided by police. Even as retired, I have one in I don't want to call her name. To go there today, she's guided. She still have a police oddly moving with her. So some of them still wants to enjoy this, and there are some allowances given to them for medical, whatever. The government still maintain them in terms of take care of them, apart from gratuity and whatever they.
And this thing just say all these things they are enjoying after retirement was during the days of Abubakar Adamu. You remember him, the IG, the former IG from Nasarawa State. It was him who brought that reform. That after retirement, you should enjoy some benefits, and that is what they
very juicy benefit, OJ, I must say, very juicy benefit. So the benefits, allocated to a DIG is different from that of an AIG.
Okay.
So for that reason, some AIGs that are even senior to Tunji Disu
might want to stay. So the reported 29 of them that may be retiring may not be the story at the end of the day.
Yes, it depends on maybe the one that's senior by 1 or 2 years can decide to stay. I say, okay, sir, God has done it for you.
Yes.
And I'm the IG. I hate as much as I'm your senior for like 2 years. AIG is AIG. At least I can still work under you, and probably you will be, elevated to the rank of the DIG. It sounds better as a retired officer.
Wow.
There's a difference between, even though we're all generals, there's a difference between a major general and a brigadier general. They are not the same, OJ.
At the end of the day.
And they are not the same.
Okay, now let's quickly look at the circumstances that made Egbetekun to suddenly resign. Do you smell something?
I won't say I smell something.
Because the presidency is saying that is a result of family issues and all that. But The reports.
OJ, there will always be a story.
But the report said he was forced to resign.
There will always forced. It's just even due.
It was due, but was
when you use the word force, it's been due to resign since.
It was due to resign, but the president used the new enacted Police Act of 2020 to elongate his stay as the IG. So he was supposed to retire sometimes in 2027. So he still has like a year to go. And now it is now that he realized that he has family matter to attend to. So that is why some things are not adding up in some quarters.
Well, OJ, if you say that, like I told you, that
yes,
in every circumstance we find ourselves in the country, there are stories surrounding it, either artificial or natural stories. You know, these are things we see. You know, it's all part of politics as well.
Okay, let's look at the allegation on Egbetekun and his son. 100 million naira transferred to his son's account.
Who transferred it?
That is the issue, and some are saying that could be the reason. One of the reasons why Mr. President say, "Hey, with this allegation, hey, come," or something.
OJ, you see, when you want to kill a dog, you give it a bad name.
Okay.
There are issues before now.
and this money.
Why are they bringing up this?
And this money, this 100 million naira transferred to Egbetekun's son's account it was being reported that it's from the account, the security vote of Anambra State. And the current spokesman of the force in doing, appearing on a particular national television, explained that it was done in error. So, but you see, so some people are now putting 1 + 1 together,
and it doesn't arrive at 2. That's the problem.
To say that could be the reason why the president invited.
OJ, 1 + 1 here, it does not arrive at 2. It can be 3 or 4. It can be even 1.5. I keep saying that we should change the way we do things in this country, because sometimes it is an abuse on our sensibility. We know these things. OJ, if I want to fire anybody, I'll just look for a story and route it around him. Who paid the money into his son's account and why? Did he do any contract? These are the issues we should be finding out. All of a sudden, we know the money. Do you know how many millions of naira that have been paid into the account of his son before now? Why is he an issue now? OJ, that is just one of those things, when I'm done with, see, when a man is tired of his first wife, he looks for 1 or 2 things to say, this is why I don't want to marry the woman. When you are tired of somebody, you are tired of, even the good morning he tells you is not palatable anymore. Do you understand? You want somebody to go. And OJ, it's a pattern, it's a recurrent pattern that anytime we are getting close to the elections, it happened in the days of Jonathan. It happens in the previous president, they've done it. When it's getting closer to elections, you'll see the new IG will come up. It's a way of rejecting the system to prepare for the elections. OJ is not far from that truth, allegedly. It's not far from that truth, allegedly. If you look at it clearly, it's not far from that truth, allegedly. But that is a pattern. So, and when you come up with all kinds of, the day Dusi will go, another story will be told. After all, what other justification do you have for a man who has 48 days to retirement age? A man who was just made AIG last year in February. Let's look at it. 48 days, 13th of April this year, he will be 60 years. That is retirement age.
Yes.
So what will happen? Is the president going to retire him or extend his stay till after elections? These are questions which also we are going to ask.
And then honorably, I resign.
Honorably resign.
I retire, I should say.
I retire.
Yes.
So what are we saying? And Egbetekun was CP Lagos. This is CP Lagos.
Lagos.
There's something about Lagos CPs.
Yes.
So I think, OJ, maybe if you have any uncle who is a CP, I'm sure you should love it to be the CP of Lagos. Hopefully, he stands a chance of being the next IG. So these are the issues, OJ. But however,
so as it were, now we have an acting IG who has served in Lagos, and now the spokesman of the force served in Lagos.
So Lagos has some form of good omen.
We are not trying to
allegedly
bring up conspiracies here anyway.
It's not conspiracy, OJ. If I were a policeman now, I will lobby to serve in Lagos.
To serve in Lagos, because you will have the chance of becoming.
Because Lagos, because Lagos actually, look at it. Lagos is a state with a lot of security challenges. It might not be banditry, might not be Boko Haram, but there's a lot of issues in Lagos. Just as the way we have the state is populated, that is how the problem there is populated.
It's populated also.
It's also populated. So
for someone to have worked there,
yes, you know something.
You know something.
You have the ability to absorb pressures.
Yes.
Too. So that is why I kudos to whoever has been a CP from Lagos or CPFCT. It shows you know something too.
Yeah.
So I don't have any issue having any CP from Lagos turning to become IG. If I were to be a police CP now, I would lobby for Lagos.
Really? Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I will just have to go for a quick break now. When we return, of course, we'll bring up another issue for the last lap of this broadcast. This is the P&B Morning Show, reaching live from Politics and Business Television Abuja. I'll be right back. All right, so welcome back to the P&B Morning Show live on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Now, let's quickly revisit the issue of the FCT polls. It appears the issue of the FCT polls has refused to
rest.
It's refused to rest. So we're still asking, what happened to the opposition? Yesterday we dwelled on that. Today again we just have to. Chidi, you were at you actually visited.
Yes.
You covered the events and all that. So what have you heard since then that may have contributed to the failure of some of these parties that didn't do real well in the last poll?
All right, thank you very much, OJ. I think it's a good one, and it is timely as well, because we are still basking in the euphoria of elections. Election was not up to 1 week now, if I'm correct. Was it last week, Friday or Saturday?
Yes, Saturday.
So we are still basking in that euphoria of the election, and some are still trying to nurse their wounds, and some are still celebrating. Now, one of the factors that affected why the other parties did not win, I can list about 5 of them. Number one, voter apathy. Like the guest we had yesterday, was it Emmanuel?
Yes.
He said that what politicians like is when you don't come out to vote.
Yes.
They enjoy it. So when the voter apathy is there, it's an opportunity for them to, maneuver a lot of things. Because, like he said, anyhow win the election, as long as it's within the ambit of the law. And that's why I told somebody that a particular governor in a state that was, at some point, was 4th position, later became the governor. And I told somebody he won the election, and they said, I said, do you know that politics has to do with, it's a Machiavellian approach. However you want to win. What matters is that there is a result with next stamp and police stamp.
Yes.
If you have your own way too, go and get your own. And that's politics now. Looking at this, the factors that led to the failure of some other political parties is that, one, I said voter apathy. People did not turn out. And this campaign this time around was the highest for, I think, over 10 years now. Serious campaign. In fact, to make it very, very serious, former vice presidents, former governorship, presidential candidates, former governors of states, even serving governors, came out in their numbers, campaigning. Former Minister of Sports, Dalong, came out and was campaigning with all load, sorry to cut you, so low that in some polling units like in Asokoro, nobody came at all.
At all.
Nobody. Nobody came at all. That is one. Two, finance. Of course, the ruling party is in position with money too. Some parties had money more than other parties, allegedly. You know, to muscle their way. OJ, politics in Nigeria is money. I monitored it. It's money. It has been monetized. Allegedly, it has been monetized. There is too much vote buying. If I'm telling you what I saw in some places, of course, the EFCC arrested somebody with 17 million naira inside his boot. Was he coming to shopping? He was not coming to shop. Vote money. OJ, I have seen electorate voters that will tell you, now who give me money and they vote. And they are not joking about it.
Yeah.
I was there. I saw. I'm not telling. These are things on the street. They will tell you. They will hold their voters card, looking for who is going to give them money. They will collect 5,000 from here, 10,000 from here. The highest bidder, they will now go and vote before they will go and vote. Money. Two. Then the third one is polling agents. OJ, it is expensive. It's still connected with money.
It's still connected with money. But talking about polling agents and connection with money, as a polling agent, sometimes don't you think that there should be this issue of
sacrifice?
Yes, volunteerism. You know,
in the midst of hunger.
No.
Can you volunteer when you don't have money? You don't.
No. See, if you believe in a process, you must also bring your own contribution to the table, and that is where some of these political parties will begin to bring up some enlightenment amongst their members that look,
believe
we have to do this, so you can't. It's for that.
You can only believe when you are alive, OJ. When you have eaten. Hunger is a factor.
So
most of the polling agents
monetize everything.
That is what I'm telling you. See, let me tell you.
No, but don't you think this is also vital? Where volunteerism will be a call.
It is difficult
to sacrifice our
it is difficult to volunteer in a society where people are hungry.
So what? Why are we
because most of the
clamoring for change?
What? OJ, that's what I'm saying. Poverty, OJ, bad governance has a lot of offshoots. It trickles down to a lot of things. OJ, most of it, you will know this one is hungry.
That's to say that those agents that these parties try to appoint for them, you understand, are not people who are well to do. We are talking about, yes, you work. It's not the 24-hour or 48 hours activity max that should change your life for the worse. So I should be able to, if I believe in a cause of a particular and believe in a political party, their manifesto, their ideology and everything, and it comes to the day of election, I say I want to volunteer as an agent. I shouldn't expect any money.
Do you know how we achieve what you are just talking about? In fact, what you have said is actually the truth. But the elite, the educated ones, will not, make themselves available as agents in a process they cannot trust. Another problem there is trust. OJ, I was in the field. I know a lot of people. I say, come, let's go and vote. They say, vote where? They don't write the result to keep, Jare. Okay, don't go and waste your time. When I finished voting, in fact, one of them drove to my house the next morning and said, wait, Alpha, our market. I think I tell you. They don't write this thing.
Trying to mock you, right?
He was mocking me. My neighbor was mocking me, OJ, because he went to play football. He said, look, I'm not going to vote. So, OJ, if I can assure you that is why the INEC has to tighten up their seatbelt. If you give us a very free and fair and transparent election, OJ, you will see professors becoming polling agents. Volunteer themselves. Yeah. You will see it happen.
Because we will see it happen in other climes.
Of course, OJ.
Yes.
But when I know, why will I go and start, okay, look at what happened in Edo State now. Somebody coming to shoot in the open glare like that. The last presidential election, did you see it happen? Shooting anyhow, people shooting. Who gave them guns? Do you know the sound of a gun can travel as far as 3 kilometers?
Of course.
Not talk of when multiple guns are shooting. Well, you want to tell me there is no police van or any security van around that area with all the access roads? You cannot, come there and arrest the situation. And everyone will be quiet. Somebody will come and shoot gun for 30, 40 minutes, OJ. No security agent to come in there to find out what's going on. And at the end of the day, somebody will come and give press release. Oh, it's as a result of so. OJ, nobody wants to gamble with his life. Have you not seen the videos where somebody will come to a polling and say, don't vote this party, oh. If you know you are coming here to vote another party, leave this place, oh. Have you not seen a situation when somebody will carry bulldozer to a particular market and tell them, if you don't vote, a party will destroy your market? And then with all these things, we see these things happen, OJ. And then you want somebody to come out and volunteer. So the only people that can volunteer are those who are hungry, who can absorb the risk of being attacked by touts and go scot-free. That's why you see ricketing people, sorry to say, use that language, poor people with slippers, ricketing jeans, t-shirt, coming to be agents. Because 5,000 naira can go a long way to solve their problems. OJ, I cannot go and be agent. I don't even need your money to be agent, but if I trust the process, I can be agent. And that's where I'm going to.
Okay.
The system need to be, improved upon. The system need to be tightened. All these mutilated results. OJ, I saw the result in my polling unit. It was clean. The next thing you see 115, this party 34. The next thing you see, they will cancel here and put 1,115, this party. And it's like I said, it's always you always see these mutilations happen within the 3 contending parties.
Yeah.
You will not see it one party that nobody is talking about. It calls for concern, and you see this thing, and you are trying to talk to me that I don't know what I'm seeing.
Okay, as we wrap up, is this let's be specific about ADC. Is this a bad omen for ADC, considering the FCT council polls? Is it because a lot of people have seen the ADC as a kind of a rallying platform for disenfranchised blocks?
Strong opposition,
grappling with internal and external, that can bring up some level of
and pull some stunts.
Yes, opposition and pull some stunts, like you said, and all that, like a rallying point for some people and all that. But with their performance, this FCT polls, do you think it's a bad omen?
Well, psychologically, it is natural for you to feel discouraged when you lose. Winning is in the DNA of every human being. I play football, OJ. Sometimes even ordinary 5-a-side, there's something that in my estate, there's a football we call the Zobo football. Somebody will just come up and say, okay, the best team today, I'll buy you one Zobo. But it's 200 naira. OJ, if you see the way Amana people invest energy for that Zobo, and the people investing that energy, they can afford it too. But just the mentality that I won the Zobo match today.
Yes.
I'm sure they are listening to me. People, legs will be kicking, you will see football boot flying.
Because something's at stake.
Not something at stake. The winning mentality is in the DNA of everybody. It is sweet to be a winner.
Yes.
It's all about what is at stake sometimes. That winning mentality. So what I'm trying to say is that it is natural for ADC and some of their followers to feel discouraged. Oh, after what we have done under the sun, the campaign, you mean all the article campaign and the Erufai, this. More so that some of them believe that they won, allegedly. They believed that they won, that they were rigged out, allegedly. But having said that, in the other way around too, it's also a way for them to be encouraged to say, okay, we can do it.
We're just coming up, and this is how far we
because some don't even rely on the reports of the media. Oh, that this party won. Some see themselves as a winner.
Yeah.
Even though it was not announced. And they said, okay, where did we get it from? Why were we not announced? And they go back to the drawing board to address those leakages. So either way, it can be. It's also a form of discouragement, and it can also be a form of encouragement.
All right. Yes, thank you very much, Chidi. You've done justice to the show this morning.
Thank you very much,
Generally.
OJ.
Yes, talked about the appointment of the IG. Acting IG, right?
Brand new acting IG.
Yes,
Tunji Dusu.
The Disu, and looked at what it means to the Nigerian police. Of course, the assassination attempts to Peter Obi and other ADC chieftains in Edo State, and of course, the issue of the FCT polls and what it means for the opposition parties. So many issues we've looked at this morning. I want to appreciate you out there for watching and being part of this broadcast this Wednesday morning. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our videos, and we promise you that will bring you more interesting content like this every weekday morning right here on Politics and Business Television. So once more, I want to say thank you to Chidi Kenneth for being part of the show today.
All right, thank you, OJ, and thank you, viewers there. See you some other time. Do have a blessed day ahead.
And of course, the man behind the scene, pressing the necessary button, is Josie. Josie, thank you very much for doing that wonderful job. I'm Omike Joseph Matthew. See you tomorrow, 7 a.m.